start today, what we're going to be doing is you all have a skewer on your table and you have a bunch of lug nuts. What we're going to do is we're going to take 45 seconds and you're going to try and stack as many lug nuts on top of each other in that time frame, all right? They don't have any questions.
Wait, how long?
45 seconds.
Okay, sorry.
Yes?
Is there a particular way you want us to do this?
Yeah, if you could stack them so that the hexagon shape is vertical, so you're getting one on top of the other, not so the whole is facing down. Okay, right? All right, 3, 2, 1, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, how we did? Look at this. Mackenzie's got all but one up there.
I was going to risk the last one, but we only had 5 seconds, so I just decided to leave it off.
Fair enough.
I lost the nut.
All right, I'll get that for you. So, seeing how this event went, there's some moments where it was, Elias was very close, but then there are other moments where, well, look at the finished product. And here we are. A lot of us don't have very tall towers. What were you kind of telling yourself throughout that process, throughout the highs and the lows?
Don't mess up.
Don't mess up.
Just trying to stay calm.
Try to stay calm. What were you telling yourself to stay calm?
Just gotta take my time, put one on top of the other.
Okay, so kind of breaking it down and saying one at a time, step by step.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very, very concentrated.
Very concentrated.
The first 3 was very, very quick, but as I got to the 4th one, I was like very scared. When Emily dropped hers, I got nervous.
Yeah, and holding it with just the skewer, you notice it starts to shake.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah, and the higher you got, the shakier it got, and then if we're both our elbows on the table, so
Yeah.
it's shaking anyways.
Yeah, so there are a lot of things that you're taking in and thinking about all while trying to do this one simple task, right? So I was hearing a lot of, Emily was mentioning don't mess up, and how Mackenzie was mentioning, just focus one at a time. There are some common themes between all those statements, and it's the concept of self-talk. So what you're essentially telling yourself when you're doing an activity is what we call self-talk. There are a couple different kinds of self-talk. So what Emily might have been mentioning with don't mess up, that might be more geared towards the negative self-talk and focusing on these negative aspects of performance, of competition. And some other examples of that might be, oh, you screwed that up, or you have no shot. The negative things you'll tell yourself in competition, those really come up a lot. I feel like is that a common consensus that when things aren't going well, you start talking really negatively. Now, studies show that that's not really the most effective way to talk to yourself while you're trying to compete. And so there are different ways that you can enhance your performance through self-talk. And one of them, Mackenzie actually brought up, it's more of an instructional technique. And using this, what we call instructional self-talk, she was saying, one at a time, breaking it down and essentially focusing on one task at a time. It removed all subjective feelings from it, and it made it a very objective task. So we're focused on one step at a time. Other instructional commands might be, just focus on this lap, hit that time, get this one rep in, or focusing on specific body movements like drive your knees, lift your head, look forward. All of those are instructions. And then there's a third kind called positive self-talk. And for some people, this was really helpful. Other people, they're not so keen on it. It really depends on who you are and what you prefer. But positive self-talk would be when you're saying, I can do this, let's go, these affirming and belief statements for yourself. So say all the lug nuts got knocked down, sorry Mackenzie, one thing you might be able to tell yourself instead of I screwed up, you could say, I got this, let's regroup, I can do this. So those are some examples of the different kinds of self-talk. But now what I want you guys to try and do is we're going to redo the activity, and then we'll see how things are different the second time around. And one thing to keep in mind is the strategic use of cues. So take some time right before we get started and think of things you might be able to tell yourself in those key moments when catastrophe may strike, or things might not be going so well. Think of the things you can tell yourself in those moments and apply them during this exercise. So we have about 10 seconds and we'll go again. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. And time. All right, hey, look at this. We got all but
Yours is
one.
about to fall. That one is like.
It's still standing.
See how this has changed in just one try? What went different for you guys?
I wasn't focused on other people's like beating me at the tower. I was just focused on me stacking my tower, not their towers.
All right, so kind of focusing on yourself in that moment. Were there specific things you told yourself?
Well, last time I was like, oh no, I'm losing. Like I'm
Okay.
not good at this. And then this time I was like, just one at a time. Like it's one bolt, and then make sure the other bolt's like level, and the next bolt. And it wasn't like the thought of the tower, but like each bolt.
Yeah, so you focused less on messing up and what other people might be doing, and more on that instructional self-talk of one step at a time. Anything else?
I think I was a lot more calm this time. I think, I don't want to say you got in my head a little bit, but I was like, wow, that last one, that could be the one that falls down. And then the last was like, got one more. I was like, no, I don't even want to risk it. I was still happy with the progress that I had, and I was very okay with it. And so I was a lot calmer and very okay with how I was going with it and
Nice.
how I was doing.
I changed my strategy with using the stick, and I thought that was really helpful. Because I was like, oh, what did I do wrong last time? I felt like the end I was using was too big to try to kind of get the nut down and then take the stick out, so I went to the small side and it worked.
Nice. Now, how do we think that this would all apply to track?
I know one method that I use when I run 800s is that I take it 200 meters at a time. So as soon as I get done one, I'm like, I'm done. How can I move on to the next one? And then accomplish my goal with that, and then move on to the next 200, and I'm done.
Nice.
I'm pretty similar to in the 10K, so I can't break it down by 200, but I can break it down by a lap.
Yeah.
And what I do is especially in the preparation phase of it, knowing exactly what I need to hit,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of focusing obviously on the time that I'm at, but also how I'm feeling. Can I go faster? Do I need to slow down? Kind of where my breathing's at. So taking it like this, taking them one nut at a time.
Yeah.
It's one lap at a time, one breath at a time, one step at a time, and just really honing in on how I'm feeling personally and the effort that I'm putting in, and not so much, what's going on around me.
Nice.
For me, just with the two trials with the lug nuts, trying different strategies and taking what works from one and discarding what doesn't work from that one and implementing something different like I did with the stick, because I thought the speed I had putting them up was fine, but changing one little thing can definitely make a big difference.
Right, and so you're kind of assessing what's going well, what isn't, and then making those adjustments accordingly. And you guys are mentioning, you run the 800 and you run the 10K, and so while they're two greatly different events, there's still the same principles that can apply to that. Nice. You guys feeling ready for your next race tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's gonna be cold.
It's gonna be a little cold, but it'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys for coming out and doing this.
Thank you.
Sure.